Kingsville Council reacts to residents.
It's an uncomfortable subject matter.
The latest on the pitch to put a forensic lab in the community. Charges laid in the Highway 3 fatal collision that claimed the life of a young child. And monopolistic bully.
This is a good day for concert goers, and it was a very, very bad day for Live Nation Ticketmaster.
Will the American verdict benefit Canadians?
CTV News with Stephanie Mazzotti.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. Stephanie is off tonight. I'm Michelle Maluske. Kingsville residents concerned about a proposed forensic research site can rest easy for now, with the town postponing its decision on the matter. CTV's Chris Campbell joins us now in the newsroom with more details. Chris.
Yes, Michelle. Kingsville Mayor says the pause comes after what he describes as a clear message from the community to slow down. But while the science behind the project is drawing interest, it's the possible location that's fueling concern.
A proposed forensic research facility in Kingsville is now on hold after a week of growing public feedback.
We noticed that there was a large information gap out there, and there was a sentiment there that this decision was being rushed.
The facility, sometimes referred to as a body farm, would be used to study human decomposition to support police investigations. Mayor Dennis Rogers says the topic itself is leading to mixed reactions.
It's an uncomfortable subject matter, and it's not something that's done every day. It's outside the norm, and obviously that causes different reactions.
While the town hasn't confirmed a location, some residents believe it could be west near County Road 20, an area seeing residential growth.
They're not against the science. They're against the location.
Local podcaster Les McDonald says many in the community aren't engaged and not backing down.
Postpone does not mean cancel, so the community still very working hard to make sure that the town is aware of the reasons they object to this location.
And I really don't think Kingsville would like to be famous for a body farm.
Others worry about what the project could mean for their neighborhood and the town.
I have concerns. I'm sure, like most people in Kingsville, odor, things like that, property values decreasing.
Resident Kim Stockinger says she's glad the town is taking more time, but wants broader public input.
There should be multitudes of those, so people in this very important decision have a say. Like, we are residents here. We have a right to a say.
For now, the town says there is no timeline for a final decision as consultation continues, with residents encouraged to let their thoughts be known.
There's no rush. If we move forward, we want to make sure we do it right, with our community knowing all the ins and outs.
The town is encouraging residents to submit feedback online or directly to council, with officials saying more information will be shared before the proposal comes back for a vote. We've reached out to the University of Windsor for comment, but have not heard back as of this broadcast. Michelle?
All right, thanks so much, Chris. Chris Campbell reporting for us tonight in the newsroom. And this also brings us to the question of the day. Would you be okay with a forensic taphonomy lab in your community? Head to our website to cast your vote, ctvnewswindsor.ca. Yesterday we asked, did you act on that 2 a.m. tornado warning? 795 people voted on this one. 61% say no. An update tonight to a deadly crash that claimed the life of a toddler last month. Police have now laid charges. The three-vehicle collision happened March 9th at Highway 3 and County Road 31. A 15-month-old boy later died from his injuries, while a 33-year-old woman was seriously hurt and others suffered minor injuries. Now, Ontario Provincial Police say 58-year-old Darren McAndrew of Windsor is charged with dangerous driving causing death and 3 counts of dangerous driving causing bodily harm. In Windsor, police are investigating after a pedestrian was killed in a crash on Tecumseh Road East last night. It happened just before 10 o'clock between Windermere and Lincoln. Windsor police say a 65-year-old woman was crossing mid-block when she was hit by a vehicle. The impact throwing her into the opposing lane, where she was then struck by a second car. The woman was rushed to hospital with life-threatening injuries, but she later died. Investigators say the first driver stayed at the scene. The second driver did not. Police are now asking anyone with information or video to please come forward. Over on Drouillard Road, the morning commute was briefly thrown off by a fiery crash at Seminole. This video sent to CTV News appears to show the flames. Windsor police say it started with a crash just before 7 a.m., sending one vehicle into a building and sparking the fire in another. Now, non-life-threatening injuries reported in this one. The road reopened by 8:30. And Windsor fire crews say extreme hoarding made battling a blaze at a Byng Road home challenging last night. They say it started as a cooking fire in the kitchen, but conditions inside the single-story home made it harder to get under control. Firefighters were able to knock the fire down. No one was hurt. Damage, however, is estimated at $100,000. In Harrow, residents are no stranger to flooding when the rain comes. So no surprise, they're dealing with it again this week.
So take the time, before it floods to look at your own home. And also, if you see the road flood, it's not the end of the world. It's on the road. The roads typically flood. They hold water until the water can go down our catch basins.
Essex Mayor Sherry Bondi says she received many calls during yesterday's storm about water on the roads and in some basements. Bondi says she intends to bring a motion to council that would establish a flooding task force, which would investigate the cause of recurring flooding, review stormwater and drainage systems, and consult experts on what can be done, meaning the flood situation across Ontario is far worse than here. Many areas are dealing with flooding from a combination of melting snow and heavy rainfall. The municipality of French River, the township of Minden Hills, and several communities on Manitoulin Island are among the communities that are under a state of emergency today. Meantime, stateside, the National Weather Service has confirmed a tornado touchdown in Middleton, Michigan, Tuesday. According to officials, an EF1 tornado hit the area. The damage is evident. The awning of a gas station was ripped from its foundation, and structural damage to homes and barns was widespread. Winds were estimated to be as high as 177 kilometers per hour, snapping trees and destroying signage along roadways. There were no reports of serious injury. Parts of Michigan are seeing a double whammy with the weather. In northern parts of the state, residents are dealing with flooding and rising water, which could compromise dams and bridges. And that includes the Sheboygan Lock and Dam about an hour from us in Windsor. Experts said earlier this week water is expected to flow over the dam with all the rain and spring melt leading to these high water levels. This causing concern for dam failure. Tuesday, crews brought in two 24-inch pumps to try and help ease the stress, in addition to the 6 8-inch pumps that are already on the site. Residents in the area are receiving emergency alerts updating the situation. They've been advised they might have to be evacuated if necessary.
We are working diligently to get as much water around and over passing the dam so that we can get the water from behind it, around it, and through.
So this seems like the right time to bring in CTV meteorologist Gary Archibald with a look at the weather forecast. Hi, Gary.
Hi, Michelle. Good evening, folks. We're talking about significant rainfall, right, added to the fact that in some areas, the majority of southern Ontario, in fact, southwestern Ontario in particular, has seen a great deal of rainfall. And the moisture from this system, the cold front sweep with thunderstorm activity still lingering at least until about 8, 9 o'clock, maybe towards midnight, only adds to the potential of ponding on area roads, flooding in low-lying areas. The ground is quite saturated. In some areas, it's super saturated. So we are dealing with rain tonight. There's a bit of a break tomorrow. That's some of the good news I'm going to lead with for my forecast that's coming up. And could we see snow next week? Oh, boy, imagine that. I'll break it down for you just ahead. For now, I'll send it back to you at the desk. Michelle?
Thanks, Gary. To Superior Court now, where the defense has shared their theory in the attempted murder trial of Fernando Ratcliffe. Devin Baines says his client has suffered, quote, inexcusable harm because two former co-accused chose to protect each other at Ratcliffe's expense. Fernando Ratcliffe, now 26 years old, has pleaded not guilty to 5 counts of attempted murder. On April 9th, 2022, someone opened fire on a group of strangers out front of this East Windsor bowling alley. The defense says the 3 other people in the truck with Ratcliffe that night have chosen to protect each other. Specifically, Joshua Fryer and Andrew Maluske. Fryer said Ratcliffe had to be the shooter by process of elimination. Maluske now says he doesn't remember what happened, but that it wasn't him, and his brother said he didn't do it either. Fryer's then-girlfriend also denied at trial to shouting a racial slur in the moments before the shooting, contrary to eyewitness reports by at least 8 people. As the shooting happened 4 years ago, Justice Bruce Thomas said today he wants to conclude the matter. He will have his judgment on Friday. Transit is under review across the region. In LaSalle, the town's contract with Transit Windsor is up next year, but options are already being discussed. And in Windsor, the city is facing a multi-million-dollar deficit as it's set to update its master plan. CTV's Bob Belichico unpacks it all for us tonight.
Transit is very challenging for any municipality.
LaSalle's contract with Transit Windsor expires next year, but the town is currently having important discussions on the future of transit in the town.
We're looking at how it works in the municipality now, what's missing in the municipality, and what our options are going forward.
LaSalle Mayor Crystal Maluske says that residents are asking for more. They want more bus lines, longer hours, and more bus lines that go deeper into the town. Maluske says the town has to decide whether that works. They also have to figure out whether to continue with the current model or consider other options. One thing's for sure, they have to decide because the municipality is on a growth trajectory.
A lot of residents depend on that to get to work, to go to school. So what our options are, we just don't know yet, and I look forward to that report from administration.
Maluske says that report is coming later this year. In the meantime, Windsor is navigating through a deficit of nearly $8 million. Earlier this week, Council approved a recommendation to update the 10-year Transit Windsor Master Plan, which was approved in 2020.
The mayor's budget works in collaboration with the administration. What they came up with was what I would interpret as overly aggressive revenue projections for the 2025 year.
McKenzie points to the cap on international students, which ultimately affected ridership and the deficit. He emphasized that while the reduction hurt transit revenue, other rider groups have been increasing to near pre-pandemic levels.
It's very good, and again, this is the point I'm trying to drive home. Our plan is working.
McKenzie feels things can only get better with a new fare box that will be introduced, which he says will help in the budgeting process.
I think what you'll see, given the data tools that we have available to us, is increased ridership, a more efficient system, and putting us on a path to actually having a transit system that we can be really proud of in our community.
Bob Belichico, CTV News.
To the question everyone's asking now, when is the Gordie Howe Bridge going to open? It's not just us in Windsor wondering. As CTV's senior political correspondent Mike LeCouture reports, there's speculation over whether the U.S. president can be blamed for a perceived delay.
One American source familiar with the negotiations tells CTV News talks are continuing quietly so that they don't trigger U.S. President Donald Trump. Now, the major part of the construction has been completed, and the corporation in charge of the span told reporters yesterday they're making the final adjustments to the $6.4 billion bridge. A spokesperson for the minister overseeing the bridge said the exact opening date depends on the completion of the ongoing quality reviews and testing, as well as those commissioning activities. The target timeframe continues to be spring of 2026. 2 months ago, in a post claiming Canada mistreats the U.S. on trade, President Trump threatened he would refuse to let it open on the American side because Canada owns the entire span. But in reality, Canada is paying for the upfront costs for construction of the bridge and will recoup that through tolls. Well, that outburst has seemingly sent a bit of a chill on any fanfare leading up to the opening, with that American source telling us both sides are trying not to do anything that would cause another eruption from the Oval Office. Now, there's another sign that the Gordie Howe Bridge is getting ready to open. The automatic tolling system is seeing brisk sales.
We've had over 5,000 accounts opened and over 12,000 transponders ordered through that process, and we expect more to come as we announce an opening date.
While we still don't know that date, it's become clear this crucial connection between the two countries is being held up by the temperament of President Trump. Mike Lecouteur, CTV News, Ottawa.
Heather Grondin, who you heard from last night in Mike's story, telling us again last night they are still aiming for a spring opening.
We're not seeing anything right now that would push us necessarily into summer. It is still going through that testing process, but we're very focused on meeting that spring timeline.
She says crews are working through tolling systems, traffic control, and lighting before any cars can cross. Once everything is ready, officials say the public will get the word. And when you do get to drive across the new bridge, make sure you buckle up. New OPP data out of Essex County shows a surge in people getting caught without a seatbelt. The latest numbers show seatbelt infractions are up 177% year to date, with 36 charges laid and 1 fatal crash this year, tied to someone not buckling up. Overall, officers have issued more than 4,000 traffic charges through March, a 129% jump from last year. Speeding tops the list with more than 2,000 charges, while impaired and distracted driving charges, they're also climbing. Police say the spike in charges likely reflects increased enforcement, with more officers out on the roads focusing on traffic safety. Essex County isn't just growing, it's managing it. That was the message from the warden's final State of the County address. More than 300 business and community leaders packed the Chicharo Club for the luncheon, where Warden Hilda McDonald looked back on 4 years of leadership and ahead to what's next. She pointed to major projects like the Gordie Howe Bridge, the new regional hospital, and the Next Star battery plant, calling them all a once-in-a-generation moment for the region. With population expected to surge, the county is rolling out development charges, housing strategies, and big infrastructure investments to keep up. A great opportunity for your Windsor Spitfires tonight in Flint. They could sweep their second round series. Windsor shut down a high-octane Firebirds offense in Game 3 the other night. Forward Jack Nesbitt said the team saw how many goals Flint scored in the first round against Owen Sound, and so they focused on defense before offense. It's a recipe that the Spits hope continues to work as they look to sweep the Firebirds.
It's in our favor right now, but we all remember what happened last year, so we're not going to let that happen again. So yeah, we just need to come to the race knowing that we can finish the series, but not taking anything for granted, because we know they can come back and they're good teams.
A big surprise and a very quick arrival for one Windsor family with a little help from local paramedics. It all happened pretty fast on March 4th. Essex Windsor EMS officials say Riverside resident Taylor Cabana went from her first contraction to active labor in a matter of minutes. Her husband Ryan racing home and then trying to follow behind. But with contractions coming one after the other, paramedics forced to pull over 1 block from the hospital, where baby Miles Kenneth Rock was delivered safely in the back of the ambulance. 2 crews of paramedics worked together to handle the rare rapid delivery. Mom and baby taken to hospital in good condition, and Dad did make it just in time to meet his son. Well, do you have a unique or uplifting story like that? We want to see it. Also, what's on your mind? Story idea? Do you have a question? Something we should look into? You can text us all of it at 10400, or you can send photos and video too.
We need all hands on deck.
Still ahead on Windsor's news leader, aiming to protect jobs and shape policy, auto giants are teaming up. Plus, Ottawa looking at limiting kids online, the potential social media solution still to come. The Premier says he will not ban so-called surveillance pricing because he believes in a free market. It comes as the NDP pushes to eliminate the practice they describe as predatory. CTV's Queen's Park Bureau Chief Siobhan Morris reports.
It's called dynamic, algorithmic, or surveillance pricing, a growing trend among global retailers designed to increase profits. an approach that adjusts the ticket price based on who's looking.
This is about companies deciding that one person, based on their online personal data history or shopping history, is willing to pay more for eggs than another person.
Tech expert Carmi Levy explains grocers and other retailers can learn a lot about you when you use their apps. But that's not all they're peeking into.
Location information, what you're doing in your other apps, maybe what you've posted on social media, things that you've liked and engaged with.
Think of a parent up late at night with a sick baby, Googling their symptoms.
Should the price of children's Advil be based on the fact that you search that? I don't think so.
All Ontario's opposition parties want the Ford government to put up guardrails. The state of Maryland's banned dynamic pricing at grocery stores.
Same algorithms that can predict what we need can also be weaponized to exploit.
Manitoba's government introduced similar legislation last month. And this week, federal New Democrats urged the Prime Minister to
implement a national ban on surveillance pricing before it becomes a predatory new normal in Canadian life.
In Ontario, Premier Doug Ford doesn't plan to intervene.
No. I believe in a capitalist society, free market. The market dictates.
A response critics say prioritizes corporate profits.
I'm shocked that the Premier would support big grocery stores rigging the market to gouge people when they go to check out.
Stores can also deploy algorithmic pricing when you're shopping in person, with digital tags being used to move prices up or down in a flash.
As the weather changes, or as the store approaches closing time, or if inventories levels are low on a particular product.
He feels retailers have been too scared of blowback to have prices flip when someone new walks by, but the technology is there.
It wouldn't surprise me if over time this goes from being something that is the source of outrage to the new normal.
Siobhan Morris, CTV News.
A new lobby group has been established working on behalf of Japanese companies building vehicles in southern Ontario. Toyota and Honda have combined to form the Pacific Manufacturing Association of Canada. The two companies accounted for about 3/4 of vehicles produced in Canada last year. Toyota's Canadian plants are in Woodstock and Cambridge. Honda makes vehicles in Alliston. The new association comes amid manufacturing struggles under U.S. tariffs and preparations for new North American trade agreement negotiations.
I think everybody anticipates that this is going to be one of the most dynamic years for the economy, for the automotive industry, for trade negotiations. And so we need all hands on deck, and we need people pulling in the same direction, and I think we're going to see that.
Fewer people apparently looking to buy some of those new vehicles today, at least the gas-guzzling variety. With the war in the Middle East still driving high oil prices, new car sales here in Canada, they're down. But the sale of electric vehicles is up. CTV's Annie Bergeron Oliver breaks down the numbers and what else is behind the boom.
Electric vehicles don't sit on the lot long at this Ottawa car dealership.
We're actively always trying to get more vehicles in our inventory for this.
Sales are growing and customer interest is too.
We've seen an upward trend in the past already, and I think we're continuing through that. Certainly with gas prices the way that they are now and the EVAP incentive on top of that, I think we're going to see continued interest as things move forward.
Across Canada, more people are making the move from gas to electric. New data show that in February, electric vehicle sales increased 47.2% over the year before, while the sale of new passenger cars dropped 3.8%. The data, captured before the war in Iran, sent gas prices soaring, and just as Ottawa was introducing incentives to reduce the cost of EVs.
We're right now shopping for an EV, largely because of the gas prices, and we also have one EV in the household. A second one will make it really a big savings for us on both the carbon footprint, the health sustainability side, and just about $300 to $350 a month.
But for those with an EV, charging can be a problem. Canada has less than 40,000 charging ports. Most aren't fast acting. And experts say trying to get chargers at home isn't cheap or easy.
We are in the right direction in investment in charging going in the next year. But if we are actually going to do what China has done, if we're going to do even what Norway has done in a few years, then we definitely have to build much more, I would say double, triple.
Canada is about to start allowing the import and sale of Chinese electric vehicles. And experts say that's likely to push up demand and potentially bring down the prices. Annie Bergeron Oliver, CTV News, Ottawa.
Those pesky high oil prices leading Amazon to introduce a fuel surcharge for Canadian sellers using its fulfillment program. Canadian companies using Amazon to pick, pack, and ship goods will now have to start paying a new surcharge because of rising fuel costs. The e-commerce giant says the 3.5% surcharge on fulfillment fees take effect tomorrow. On the markets, the TSX fell 104 points, while in New York, the Dow gained 115, the Nasdaq added 87. The Canadian dollar is up 1/5 cent, and on commodity markets, gold lost more than $15 an ounce. Oil gained $3.04 a barrel.
This is a good day for concert goers, and it was a very, very bad day for Live Nation Ticketmaster.
A major blow to Ticketmaster and Live Nation. What it could mean for your concert tickets. Still ahead.
Our $15,000 backyard refresh contest continues. Take pictures, do it now. There's going to be a little bit of a break. Don't run, walk safely, and we'll be back on the other side.
After another day of rain and gloomy skies, here's CTV meteorologist Gary Archibald with a full look at the forecast. And I can't be the only one who is hoping that this rain clears out. We could use some sunshine.
Sunshine would be nice. We did get a few little peaks in the afternoon, but it was in the midst of some light showers and then some downpours that didn't last very long. If you were in Midtown, parts of Windsor, say around 3:30, we are still looking at weather watches and warnings and special weather statements, primarily for steady rainfall. We're looking at an additional 10 to 20 millimeters. Conditions improving late tonight. The ground in some areas is near saturation, which could lead to ponding and localized flooding. Okay, so it's been wet, yes, thundery, no doubt, even with some strong wind gusts in the last couple of days. Today's temperature was yet again above seasonal. Look at this, 21 degrees Celsius. Our average high is closer now to 14. And the low today, so far, it's been very warm, 17. Our average low would be a very cool 3 degrees Celsius. Air quality is decent yet again, so nothing to see here. It remains cloudy and a bit on the windy side. The good news is the winds do diminish to some degree near midnight, and the overnight's relatively quiet. If we do see some shower activity, it's light. The temperatures remain relatively mild the next couple of days, with teens likely supper time and beyond. For most, 6, 7 p.m. Holding at 19 and cloudy showers in Chatham-Kent, 20 and intermittent showers, quite dark outside. In Windsor, the warm spot in the country is in the lower Great Lakes, exactly where we are in extreme southwestern Ontario. Meanwhile, we're in the minuses, like -6 in Calgary, Alberta, just to give you a comparison, west and east. Great Lakes towards the prairies and Rockies, right? Lots of rain. Front showers, thunderstorms progressing west to east. We are still in the midst of potential thunder showers tonight. I think it really lightens up for tomorrow, so that's some good news. If we do see any rain between now and midnight, it's likely not severe, but it will add to the totals in terms of the rainfall. Speaking of rainfall, instead of seeing 20 to 30, maybe 50 milliliters, now we're looking at less than 5. So we're at the last stage of this significant last 2.5 days of rainfall. Thunderstorm potential is low, but it's there through 8 o'clock. 17 balmy degrees. By 10, we're at 15. By midnight, still very mild for this time of year and time of day, 13 degrees Celsius. Take a look at our Enercare style 7-day forecast. Cloudy tomorrow and 19, 18 in showers Saturday. Sunday's cooler. Showers possible. 8 degrees, not 18, but 8 down to 6 on Monday. A mixture of sun and cloud. I think I'm going to ride the scooter. It's electric on Monday. Save on the gas cost. Tuesday, showers up to 20, then 17, fair weather Wednesday, and sunny on Thursday, 13. That would be average. Let's look at your Enercare Siles 7-day forecast.
Canada's culture minister says Ottawa is, quote, very seriously considering introducing a social media ban for kids. Mark Miller adds while the ban could be an important tool, it is not a solution to the larger problem of online harm. The government's move to consider age restrictions for social media and AI chatbots has received support from Conservative and NDP members of Parliament. Australia became the first country to pass a law enforcing age limits on social media last December. New online platforms are allowing users to wager on the outcomes of future events, including politics, the economy, and even war. CTV's John Vanavalli Rao has more on how that's creating major ethical concerns.
This polymarket trader has made $6 million!
On social media, all sorts of mostly young men.
This is by far the easiest way to make money in 2026.
Posting videos about sites like Kalshi and Polymarket, which allow traders to bet on just about everything.
The end of this year,
from election results to who will win on The Bachelorette.
Will Carg Island get invaded? This random account on Polymarket sure seems to think so.
Even placing wagers on the war in Iran.
It's called a prediction market, where you can bet on real-world events.
The sites have exploded in popularity in the U.S., letting people make yes or no wagers.
Will Trump release the unredacted Epstein files?
And the results can outperform traditional polling. Some news organizations like CNN now routinely refer to the market odds.
It is now up to 77%, according to the folks at Kalshi, putting their money where their mouth is.
A trader made over $530,000 betting that the U.S. would attack Iran.
But concerns are being raised about some of what is being bet on, particularly the wars in Iran and Ukraine.
Whenever it comes to outcomes where lives are at stake and war are such things, I think there are very profound ethical questions. I would call these contracts immoral, but that's my personal take.
Questions are also being asked about whether some are profiting off of insider information. Hours before Venezuela's then president, Nicolas Maduro, was captured by U.S. forces, suspiciously timed bets about his removal were made on Polymarket. Well-timed bets were also placed just before Iran's former supreme leader was killed in a U.S.-Israeli strike.
When you compound the fact that we're literally taking bets on people's lives getting destroyed and that people in the know are effectively making positive financial outcomes off of it, it's a troubling situation.
How to make big money? In Canada, Polymarket and Kalshi are not legally available. And prediction markets here are limited to just a few subjects like the economy and environment, including the weather. Toronto-based Wealthsimple recently became the second Canadian firm to get approval to offer forecast trading.
They have a very limited authority to trade in a select group of outcomes that do not cover sports, that do not cover events of a political type, or such as elections or what's happening in the Middle East.
Meanwhile, Canadian regulators say they are watching prediction markets closely and could bring in tighter rules to deal with them. John Vanavalli Rao, CTV News, Toronto.
Coming up, the black tie affair, a century in the making, and all the other local events you may want to check out this weekend. What's Up YQG is next. Turning now to What's Up YQG. This week, a major milestone for the Windsor-Essex Humane Society, celebrating 100 years with a sold-out gala. Johnny Parks from 89X and our very own Melanie Kentner are there with two very special guests. Melanie.
Yeah, we're at the Windsor-Essex Humane Society to talk about the upcoming gala. Now, Johnny, I can see that you're already getting distracted by the animals.
Yeah, Cha-Cha is my new best friend. She is adorable. But we also have Lynette here from Windsor Humane Society. Could you tell us about the big event?
Yeah, we're super excited. It's our Great Gatsby Gala celebrating 100 years this Saturday at the Komodo Club, 6 p.m.
Now, 100 years, that is definitely something to celebrate. So can you tell us a little bit more about the brewery 1920s theme?
Yeah, well, we're really hoping our guests lean into that era. Think flapper dresses, dapper suits, fedoras, feather boas, you name it. We're going to have great Gatsby atmosphere, especially thanks to our design sponsor, Designs by Diane, who has amazing decor planned.
It looks like you've got a little dress up going on right now.
I'm all ready.
Can you tell us about the entertainment as well?
Well, we got Big Louie and the band. We are super excited for that, for a nice big piece band going on. We're going to have a lounge singer. There's going to be tarot reading and palm reading, as well as some close-up magicians.
Now, I understand the event is sold out, so what else can people do to contribute?
Yeah, I mean, the gala is sold out, but monetary donations can definitely help us to shelter, feed, provide medical care for our animals every single day. And really, we're really hoping the community can help us carry forward this momentum for the next 100 years. Think volunteering, fostering, donating. There's a lot of ways that people can help to create that next century of caring.
Yeah, maybe even adopting this sweet girl here, if I don't take her first, of course. So cute.
That's available.
Perfect. Well, we'll put the links on our website so everybody can check that out. Now, we do have a couple other events to talk about, including at the casino.
Fly me to the moon, let me play among the stars.
Yeah, Diana Krall on Thursday and Celtic Woman on Friday.
Yep, and we have, something for the homebodies.
Yeah, Windsor Home and Garden. They've got that show is happening at Central Park Athletics. That's on all weekend long.
And another spring event in LaSalle.
Yeah, I got the spring fling happening. I'm just busy kissing this adorable dog here. I'm sorry.
There's so many things to do, so make sure you get out there, or if you want to stay in and donate to the Humane Society, great cause. Thanks, Lynette. 100 years, definitely something to celebrate, and that's what's up, YQG.
A ruling by a U.S. jury has found that Live Nation and its subsidiary Ticketmaster operated an illegal and anti-competitive monopoly to the detriment of customers. We wanted to know what the implications are now for the concert giant and how Canadians are affected. CTV's Andrew Johnson is looking into this story for us today.
Anyone who has ever felt ripped off by Ticketmaster will likely cheer this ruling. But in order to find out what will change, we need to wait for the encore.
Welcome to the Eras Tour.
The Taylor Swift Eras Tour ticket fiasco partially fueled the lawsuit, and the decision by the New York jury could be a devastating blow to massive concert promoter Live Nation.
This is a good day for concert goers. And it was a very, very bad day for Live Nation Ticketmaster.
The company could now be forced to split from Ticketmaster and pay hundreds of millions in fines. The jury also found Ticketmaster overcharged people by close to $2 per ticket. That money plus damages could be coming back to customers. And
it could lead to lower prices. What it almost certainly will lead to is more competition, more opportunities for acts to go to different venues and not end up where Ticketmaster takes a big percentage of the money that's coming out of fans' pockets.
That lawyer told me this U.S.-based ruling does apply to Canadians if the judge awards damages to concertgoers. Someone who bought a ticket to a Canadian show from Ticketmaster will be eligible. Andrew Johnson, CTV News, Vancouver.
The Toronto Blue Jays came up just short in Milwaukee, falling 2-1 to the Brewers and dropping the series.
And he swings at the 3-0, lifts a high fly towards the left field corner. Lockridge will make the catch. Varsho can tag, and he will come home. The sac fly by
that highlight from last night's game, but today a tight, low-scoring one. It was decided in the 7th inning when Milwaukee used a series of bunts, including one that brought home the go-ahead run. Toronto had a chance to tie it late with a runner on third in the 9th, but couldn't bring him home. The Jays now head to Arizona for a 3-game series starting Friday.
This is your CTV Windsor, our community calendar. Join us Friday, April the 17th for the Virgin Radio Earth Day donation drive. We'll be collecting your gently used items at the Society of St. Vincent de Paul. See you next time on Our Community.
And it's time to check in now on what's happening now. I'm joined tonight by Kate Otterbein. Kate, let's start with 2 impaired driving charges in Windsor, both the same day.
Yes, Michelle, these actually happened a couple hours apart, according to Windsor police. Just after 7 a.m., police were called after a car allegedly drove through a construction site on Tecumseh Road East. A woman was said to be showing multiple signs of impairment when police spoke to her. The second driver was allegedly found asleep behind the wheel on Walker Road 4 hours later. Windsor police say the man also was showing signs of impairment and that drug paraphernalia was seen inside the vehicle. Further testing was done on both drivers, leading to charges.
And kind of sticking with motorists, I hear we've got an extension on that on a big, massive infrastructure project in the city.
Unfortunately, that will go until May 1st. The closure at Banwell will be extended because of the wet weather. The right lane is closed from Lozon Parkway to Banwell Road for road work. It will now open back up on May 1st at 6 p.m. Another closure at Banwell between the roundabout at Mulberry and EC Row is also in place until May 8th, as long as weather cooperates. More information is available online at ctvnewswindsor.ca. And in our social spotlight tonight, this adorable hockey fan decided to make a sign at a Calgary Flames game, and it paid off.
So what happened was during the TV timeout, Dustin Wolf saw the sign that the little boy was holding. It said, "Wolf, you are my idol." His name is Cade Heisler. He's 10 years old, a goalie for the Carstairs Bruins.
This video melts my heart. There's no hiding how much this moment meant to him. His tears truly say it all. Michelle, I know this one speaks to you. You're a hockey mom. Doesn't it just kind of bring tears to your eyes?
Yeah, it really does, because you're 100% right. He probably got those tickets for Christmas. He probably's been looking forward to this very, very, very long time. Spent time making a poster. Those are the kind of things why sport can be such an amazing thing for kids to watch and to see other athletes doing things like that out of the kindness of their heart. You're absolutely right. Love it.
For sure.
Perfect
Gives them some
example.
big dreams, too.
I love it. Great. Thank you so much, Kate. That is what's happening now.
That's a lot of peanut butter.
He's turning 20 and turning that into a mission to help hundreds of kids. Still ahead, how one volunteer is crushing a peanut butter goal. Gloomy, gloomy, gloomy is how you would describe the better part of today, at least, right?
And, you know, we've been in and out of some showers. I got caught in a huge downpour. I knew it was coming. And more of the same tonight through supper time and beyond. Good news is the worst of it is over. There's a slight chance of some thunderstorm activity between now and midnight, but I think it will be of the non-severe variety. Let us hope. Saturday, Sunday, though, more showers. By the way, temperatures tomorrow, cloudy, AM fog patches, 19, then 18 Saturday, a cool Sunday and cloudy, a chance of showers down to 8, 6 degrees on Monday. Fair weather, then 20, then 17, then 13. So we are up and down again. I hate roller coaster ride. I mean, but it really is apropos to describe this temperature swings.
I'm going to hold you to the worst is over for now.
Sure.
For that. Sounds
absolutely.
good. And finally for us tonight, a young man with Down syndrome is spreading hope through the power of peanut butter. He's leading a community effort in Waterloo Region to make sure kids don't go hungry. CTV's Spencer Turcott has the story.
Caleb is a regular volunteer at Food for Kids Waterloo Region.
Help others and friends and families.
He's always lending a helping hand.
Caleb has always been very helpful and very caring, so it's not out of character for him.
So when the organization, which supports nearly 1,500 food insecure children in Waterloo Region, decided to launch their 5th annual peanut butter campaign, staff said they'd be nuts not to ask Caleb to be a part of it.
Caleb already volunteers here every week, and so he already has our mission in his mind.
It just so happens that Caleb's 20th birthday falls in between the April through June peanut butter campaign. His birthday wish? To crush last year's campaign numbers.
Last year, 4,160 jars came in.
Caleb knew he'd also need help putting a dent in that number, so his dad Carl stepped in.
I also contacted 4 local businesses Brady's Meats, Maison Cuckoo Patisserie in Waterloo, Sweet Dreams Tea Shop in Waterloo, as well as Moose Winooski's in Kitchener to be our local drop-off sites.
Word spread fast, and things got off to a smooth start with jars piling up. Caleb at points looking like the peanut butter prince, overlooking the collection from his jam-packed throne. The number of jars he set out to collect was
200.
But that goal is stuck in the past. He's collected
And over his 300.
That's a lot of peanut butter.
Jarring numbers like that are exactly what Food for Kids needs in order to meet their overall 5,000 jar goal. And if you're looking to help out, Caleb is still accepting donations from the drop-off sites.
You will allow it 100%. Sure.
A simple idea that's not only filling shelves, but bellies too. Spencer Turcott, CTV News, Kitchener.
What a great story about a young man doing something so simple and yet so impactful for his community.
That's right. Can't go wrong with peanut butter, first and foremost. Love that. But seeing young people, like you said, being leaders in the community, right? Setting a great example for...
And showing kindness.
Showing
to others.
kindness and empathy.
For
What a great young man. Really
Great
like that
story.
story. Yeah.
Well, on behalf of the entire crew here at CTV News Windsor, thank you for supporting local news.
For updates throughout the evening, go to our website, ctvnewswindsor.ca.
Lauren Stallone will be back with your only late local newscast tonight at 11.
See you then.